Kijk, we zijn weer terug. Welkom terug bij de Limburg Pride Show. We hebben het net gehad over de werkgroep ouderen en de werkgroep jongeren bij het COC. Maar we hebben ook een werkgroep voor LHBTI-vluchtelingen, Cocktail. En daar organiseren wij bijeenkomsten voor. En dat zijn best wel mooie bijeenkomsten. En daarom heb ik hier aan tafel, wou ik zeggen, maar hier eigenlijk op de bank, twee vrijwilligers die ervaring hebben met het vluchteling zijn. Dit gesprek ga ik in mijn prachtige Engels proberen te doen. Maar dat vinden jullie vast niet erg dat ik daar wat foutjes in maak. Het moet natuurlijk wel verstaanbaar zijn, maar dat komt helemaal goed. Welcome, Anastasia Zolkinch.
Anastasia Zolkina.
Yes, yes, and Jermaine.
Yes.
I say Jermaine.
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. You are two volunteers from our group Cocktail.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your work at Cocktail? Jermaine.
Basically, for me, I do quite a few things. One of them being social media. So if there are lovely things that you see either on Facebook or on Instagram, I'm the one who posts that. I also do a little bit of admin with general inquiries for the emails which come into Cocktail.
Okay, okay. Anastasia, you are, I see that you are a freelance photographer.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes, yes. What are you doing? Tell me.
As a freelance photographer,
Yeah.
as a freelance photographer, I'm just starting now to build kind of a network. Generally, I was doing events and I was
Yeah.
doing all-round art project development. So I was doing creative projects by myself, and I was also helping people. And I hope to continue doing that here. But generally, I want to focus now on the photography itself, working for the local people,
Okay.
maybe doing some pictures of children.
Yes.
Oh, you meant for COC?
No, yeah, but maybe you can also photograph for the COC.
Yes,
huh?
I did it for a couple events actually.
Okay, nice.
I hope they like my pictures.
I didn't see them. I'll after the show I will get to see them. What do you do for as volunteer work at COC?
So we have this project, kind of a new project for COC Cocktail, and it's called the Community Hubs. And I'm helping to coordinate the project. I'm helping the volunteers, and I'm helping to develop it around because it's very new. And the main thing about this project is bringing the meetings from COC to the smaller regions with to every city with an AZC there, so people can get to know the region where they're living in a little bit better, and also they can get to know about some local things like local cinemas, or maybe local history. And we have these community hubs now full operating with the first meetings. We have that in Maastricht.
Yeah.
That's for now the biggest one. We have a community hub in Heerlen. We have a community hub in Zweekhuizen.
Is it at the AZC?
We take the events themselves out of the AZC because people they're a bit bored of the AZCs, and also that's not very safe.
Yeah.
To give them to handle the meetings there, because not everyone wants to know that wants the other asylum seekers in the asylum center to know that, for example, they belong to the LGBT community. I think as an organization we have to respect that because that's about the safety of the people.
Okay. And are you also bonded with the hubs? What you told about?
Yeah. For me, I think it began more of since I was one of the early people who came in 2018. So I was more of a buddy to some of the volunteers, the Dutch volunteers who were already there. And so 2018, 2019, we developed also a buddy project, which is along the lines of the community hub projects, but it's more one-to-one. This is where a Dutch volunteer comes along and pairs up with a newcomer, a refugee, and they have non-romantic, non-sexual, friendship-based meetings together where they can just socialize and get to know each other more. And the Dutch volunteer can maybe try to be more of a personal guide to the refugees and newcomers in how to interact and integrate in Dutch society. So it worked so well for me, we decided that we should just roll it out to everybody else.
Yeah. But before all this, you have been through a lot, I think. Yeah. Can you tell us why you have fled to the Netherlands?
I have 2 books about that.
It's short.
Short.
Yeah.
For me, I've never really been in the closet, so I was the boy who had a doll instead of the toys with the car toys and the guns with the boys. I don't know. My mother passed away a few weeks ago, two months ago. So I don't know where Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't know where she got the courage and the strength to be able to say, I can get my child a doll and nobody can say anything about it. So she gave me that power to be who I was. Obviously, outside the house, that would be the challenge. Like in school, I would avoid the boys' bathroom, and also going into my adult life, getting a job is difficult. I would get a job and it would be clear that this is not one of the boys. So I've been fired 5 times over the past 13 years of my adult career.
Yeah. So where did you come from?
Oh, Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, okay. And it's not so LGBT friendly?
No, not at all.
No.
In fact, it's illegal, actually.
It's illegal?
Yeah,
okay.
Although they don't enforce it, but you're always on the ground and you're always watching your back. And for me, I'm also a journalist, so I'm always watched.
Okay. Yeah. I'm very glad that you are here in the Netherlands. What is your story, in short?
In short, so I'm coming from Russia, and then I asked for the asylum, but at first I asked for the asylum in Belgium, and then it became a little bit long and complicated, and I will just switch to the times when I moved to here. I have a sad part of my story when it's torture, when it's my physical traumas in Russia, because in Russia, LGBT people are not accepted, and now it's getting even worse, actually, with the new constitutional laws.
What is worse?
Because now they're making a new constitutional law that says that family can be only a man and a woman, so only a husband and a wife, and only this kind of family can raise children. So that's a huge threat for all the LGBT families living secretly and who have children, because there are more of these families than you think. And now all of these families are threatened by this law.
Okay.
Fortunately, I have escaped Russia earlier than that came in, and now me and my fiance, because I'm engaged.
Yeah. Congratulations! I heard that.
You. So me and my fiance, we can be a bit more secure about our future, because I'm here and she's also in Europe.
Yes.
But in general, in the past, let's say 7 years in Russia, there were more and more negative changes. And I wouldn't say there were any positive changes. So generally, when I was a teenager, I kind of experienced a lot of harassment based on that I was a lesbian. And then it was building and building. I've got fed up when I had nothing to lose, and I left.
So the reign of Putin is not as good as we know here in the Netherlands.
Oh, you know that is good, really? Wow, that's a total fairy tale.
That's a total fairy tale.
No, that is a stroke,
Yeah. Here it is good, or in the Netherlands?
I find it good because I find it safe. And for years, safety was something I couldn't reach, but I've tried. So seeing that we're safe, we're protected, and many times we're also welcomed here, even though we're foreigners. That actually is great. That's just great.
That's nice to hear. It's nice that you are also here in the Netherlands. you two came to the Netherlands, and you experienced also some things. It's what's not so good in the integration or with the COA. Is there something that you can say CUC Netherlands or CUC Limburg can do something about it? What do you think? What is not good if you come to the Netherlands, and what can we do about it? What do you think, Jermaine?
Good question. I suppose
It wasn't smoothly that you come here and.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I suppose there should be a way to strengthen the community in terms of self-awareness, in terms of that self-pride, because when you go into the SZC system, you're just kind of thrown there and you are left to be with everybody else. And for me, being a vulnerable person, being in a space where you are still vulnerable. So it's a bit challenging because you only get to see COC maybe once a month or once every 2 months.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of isolation that goes on when you're still in the SZC system. So that for me is the biggest challenge for now. And so with the Buddy Project, hope Dutch volunteers will come more, the better. So we're still
you can say it.
Yeah, we want more Dutch volunteers.
We need some more volunteers.
Yeah, the more the better, because for now we're pairing people maybe 3 newcomers with 1 Dutch volunteers. So we're trying to spread it out and even out so that everybody can get that chance, so that people have a moment to breathe and be outside of the SZC and to just relax and not have to think about everybody else, because the SZCs can be an unfriendly environment because people are coming from different backgrounds and people are coming from different religions. So for me, again, also in the SZC, it becomes clear that he's not one of the boys as well. So I have to watch myself. I have to keep that distance. I have to tiptoe around it.
Yeah. What can you give as a volunteer to the refugees that now comes to the hubs with your experience?
With my experience, people who come to the hubs they feel isolated in the AZCs, and what they actually need, they need some real life communication, because most of them live in the small and sometimes very closed neighborhoods and the small communities. Especially, I am talking now about the communities outside the AZCs.
Yes.
Yeah, so the local communities, for example, in Heerlen, or in Zweekhuizen, or even in Echt. So what the volunteers can give to the people, they can give tips about how the life is going, for example, in Echt. They can give ideas about how to approach the local people on the cultural way. And they give the ideas of how the local people are spending time. So it's very important for the integration.
Yes, it helps to integrate as volunteer here in the Netherlands, and especially as you are, if you are the LGBT refugee.
Yeah.
Okay. What does the Limburg Pride mean for you? This the Pride, Limburg Pride, but also the Amsterdam Pride. As you came here to the Netherlands, what did you experience when you went to the Pride? Because there you ask your fiancé, or
actually, I've got engaged on the Pride, so that's a very
that is something
super special event.
Yeah. What does the Pride mean to you?
Now, it has always been a very special kind of event for me, because I normally go to all the prides in all the provinces.
Yeah.
So I go to Limburg, Amsterdam, also to Groningen, everywhere. I even go to Belgium for the pride, because I like this feeling of freedom, and this, quintessence of freedom, because it's loud.
Yeah.
Because everybody is tries to look the most like themselves, and that's a great thing. But it also gives a lot of hope to the people who are still in the closet, and it gives a lot of hope to the people who live for example, or used to live even in the homophobic countries, because that's the way to see that this kind of lifestyle, our lifestyle as an LGBT community, is accepted here, because it's so loud, it's so colorful, but it is still accepted. And that is an amazing thing about Pride, because it celebrates exception and it makes everyone understand that you're here, guys, this is the rules. And also with Limburg Pride, it's very important for everyone, I think, because it celebrates the acceptance.
Yeah. Is that what you think also, or what is the Pride for you? What
I totally agree with Anna.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, it was my first time at Pride last year. It was really, it's surreal, you know, coming from an African country, because here you are, you find your community, you find your people, and it's, of course, back in Zimbabwe, you have your community, but it's underground. Like I said earlier, that you're always just, you know, you're in this mental stage that just, it brings you down. You know? And for many Zimbabwean, if not African LGBT people, it's often suicidal. Yeah, the underground nature of it all is just devastating. And so for most LGBT people in Africa, when you reach a certain age, like me, in your 30s, you become a target, because that's when people say, okay, now it's time for you to find a woman and actually be straight. We know you've been a little gay, but come on now, get over it. So last year for me at Pride, it was really an opportunity for me to come to my being and to say, we are here, we are queer. That's not happening. I mean, we once saw the former president of Zimbabwe lying on international television at the UN, saying there are no gays in Zimbabwe. That clearly was not true.
Actually, there are people here in Holland who said that too, in the municipalities of, for instance, Friesland.
Wow.
So they have to learn more. I'd love to talk with you much more, but. Yeah, it's the end of this this conversation. I'm very glad to have you two as volunteers. Kan ik toch doorgaan? Ah, okay. Behind the scenes they say go on, so I can go on. I wanted to say I'm very glad to have you as volunteers at COC Limburg. What can you say to people who are going to come here from refugees? What yeah, how do you say that in English? What tips? What can you give them for tips?
I have one, and it's a very good one. Try to not expect anything, because anything you're going to expect in a good way and in a bad way will be wrong. If you're coming as a refugee, everything you have read about it is totally wrong. And you just have to make this step, go into this life as a refugee, live through it, and leave it behind, because that's also an experience which either will make you strong or make you fall down and break you. But it's worth it, because if you actually go through it, especially as an LGBT person, you will get a life here you never expected you would get, because you would feel this freedom. You would feel this freedom on the streets. You would feel this freedom inside. You would accept yourself the way you've never accepted yourself before. Because if you come here as a refugee, you come here from a homophobic country. And there, even if you're totally opened, you never accept yourself fully. Here, you have a chance.
Here you have a chance, you say, in Europe or in Belgium or in the Netherlands.
I said the Netherlands once of the most.
Once of the most.
The other places.
That's no problem.
The other places.
I'd like to hear that.
Netherlands is just, it has a very big LGBT scene. And it has a very bright LGBT scene.
That's
and also
really,
quite welcoming.
That's really beautiful to hear. Can you give a tip?
I suppose, just like what Anna said, you know, when you come here, you need some patience and some grace. For you to be able to find yourself. Because if you're in a rush to just be, hi, I'm out here. You know, so you just have to kind of chill and relax and find your way through it. And I suppose also finding your community that just works out so well. And as Anna also said, that when you're coming from a homophobic country, there's just no way you can be yourself, you can be free. There's just absolutely no way. So your mental state of mind, it might take a while for you to actually reach a level, even when you are here to say, I'm now free, I'm now comfortable to be myself. Yes. I mean, I know several people who've been in Western countries for so long who still don't have that level of completion to say this is who I am.
Yes.
And it's that's how difficult it is.
Yeah.
So it's easy to see someone else and say, oh, they have it easy, or they're just gay and they're okay with it. You know, they also go through things, they go through the emotions and the turmoil, you know. So it's, you know, last year I read Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, and I was inspired because she talks about the same thing. I'm like, oh, even a First Lady of the United States talk about coming into herself. So that's how difficult it is. So you can imagine being a minority, also being an outsider in the sense that the LGBT community is an outsider everywhere. I mean, you mentioned that even here in the Netherlands, we're outsiders. So finding our space needs that visibility. It's basically what it means.
It's really great to hear this. Yes, thank you very much. I wanted to say I admire you too, not also for what you experience, but also the work that you do at CUC. I'm very glad at it. I think the whole member of the board finds it very pleasant that you are a part of CUC. Thank you very much for this conversation. And please make yourself comfortable.
Thank you very much for inviting us. And come to the community hubs, everyone.
Come to Cocktail, yes.
Come to Cocktail, come to the Body Project, come to Cocktail.
Yes. Deze oproep, I'm going to speak in Dutch again. Deze oproep, als je dus vrijwilliger wordt bij ons, dan kan dat. En we hebben ook vrijwilligers bij Cocktail nodig. Het is een prachtige werkgroep. Ik zou zeggen, meld je aan. We gaan door naar het volgende filmpje. Ik heb vorig jaar bij de Roze Zaterdag in Venlo in 2019... heb ik een Turkse vluchteling gesproken. Ja, ik sta hier naast Sarkan. En Sarkan, jij bent asielzoeker.
Ja,
nog steeds?
Ja.
Kun jij jouw verhaal eens even vertellen aan ons?
Ja, zeker. Ik ben Serkan en ik ben pas 2 jaar in Nederland. En ik ben een asielzoeker. Ik kom uit Turkije en ik ben gay. Ik ben 31 dagen in de gevangenis gebleven in Rotterdam. Want IND gelooft niet dat ik homo ben. En ze zeggen dat ik niet gay genoeg ben. En ik was niet illegaal in Nederland. Ik heb niks gedaan. En mijn procedure ging verder gewoon met IND op achtergrond. Maar een politie pakte mij in de Hoogveen, als ik zei. En ik moest 31 dagen in de gevangenis gebleven. Maar
wacht, eventjes, even terug, hè? Jij bent gevlucht uit Turkije.
Ja.
Waarom ben jij precies gevlucht?
Ja, waarom? En Turkije is mijn geboorteland, maar mijn geboorteland is niet veilig voor homomensen. Een Turkse wet zegt niks over de homoseksualiteit, maar in het echt leven is het anders. Ja, iedereen drukt op jou en je mag niet zelf zijn. En ik moest uit de kast komen tegen mijn familie en tegen mijn sociaal leven.
Hoe is dat gegaan?
Ze accepteren niet en mijn vader en mijn ooms willen mij dood. En daarom ik moest een land kiezen en ik wilde Nederland kiezen en daarom ben ik hier.
Okay. Ja. En toen kwam jij in Nederland, 2 jaar geleden?
Ja, 2 jaar geleden ben ik naar Nederland gekomen.
En wat gebeurde er toen?
Ja, en ik heb een paspoort en Nederlandse visa naar Nederland gekomen. En na 9 dagen ben ik naar Ter Apel gegaan om asiel aanvragen, voor asiel aanvragen.
In Ter Apel, daar komen alle asielzoekers als eerste naar binnen?
Eerst naar Ter Apel gaan. En ja, ik heb eerst asiel aanvraagd daar. En mijn procedure 2 jaar geleden begon met IND.
Ja. Maar toen? Wat gebeurde er toen?
Ja, en ja, IND zegt, IND heeft tegen mij eerst gezegd, ja, ik niet gay ben.
Hoe komen ze daarbij?
Ja,
Wat was hun reden?
geen reden. Ja, ik heb een interview gehad in 2017 met IND. En ik heb gewoon mijn verhaal verteld. Wat is er gebeurd in Turkije en wat heb ik probleem in Turkije enzovoort. En dan IND gelooft niet. Ze hebben alleen naar mijn verhaal geluisterd. En ze kijken naar mijn interview en ze zeggen niet gay genoeg. Dat is een beetje jammer.